Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about how I keep a reading journal and why you should too. Stick around. So in my last video I put up a poll about which videos you guys would be interested in. Well, the reading journal video won, so today we're going to try a slightly different format. We're mainly going to be focusing on my reading journal. Now as you can see, this journal took me about 2 years. About 2 years to complete, and it is completely full of little notes and tidbits. And I'm a bit nervous about showing you my journal, mainly because there's a lot of personal anecdotes and such that are in it. However, I think that by showing you how I do it, it will enable you to also understand like how I keep my journal, and hopefully encourage you to start doing a reading journal as well. So as always, I usually have a table of contents. You can see that I use different pen, and the table of contents follows select pages, and you can choose to do this however you wish. I just decided to kind of do it via table contents and having what books and such that I was reading at the time. Found that to help keep me organized. So the first book up is Anna Karenina, and this was in December. First few chapters, and you can kind of see it's not like I'm talking about like giving it a staunch review. I'm just kind of talking about how I feel about it, and talking about Benjamin McAvoy's video on Anna Karenina and how I watched it on Patreon. The next few pages are just me talking about Charles Dickens and reading that. We go a little bit further on down the line, like to the Dostoevsky challenge. You can see where I start getting into more raking and things like that. The Iliad is another one where I kind of talk about how I feel about certain characters, or how I felt about finishing the book. That book I was not too kind to. I just guess wasn't in the mood for it. War and Peace is another one. Of course, feel free to read these if you'd like to, but fair warning, there are some spoilers in there. Now, in the later parts of the reading journal, I kind of just do a ranking, or I don't really do as in-depth stuff as I kind of used to. And as you can see, I just kind of did some sketches in there. You can do that. I mean, really, it's your journal. You can do it however you wish. Some reading journals are more detailed than this, but generally what I like to do is I like to kind of start off with how I'm feeling with respect to the book, how I feel about certain characters, and then I kind of taper it off with what sort of ideas or ideations I get from that book. Now, of course, reading journals are quite useful for retaining information, especially if you're reading like the Russians, or you're reading foreign literature. So, like for example, with Dostoevsky, it was quite helpful writing down the names quite a bit, because it helped me to remember. I mean, compared to like reading Jane Eyre, where it's like, oh yeah, I can read English. Ulysses is mentioned in here, and Dune. I should probably update some of this stuff. Oh, and then Elantris and Dune, which I really like Dune, and then The Laws of Power, because that's an interesting book. And of course The Alchemist, which I did do a video on. So yeah, this is pretty much how I keep a reading journal. It's not intensive. Now this is my old reading journal. I'm going to go ahead and bring over my new reading journal. So as you can see, this is my new reading journal. I really like the color black, so it kind of keeps in the theme. So kind of shows you what date I started and such. I decided to do this in fountain pen, so I don't really write a whole bunch as much as I used to, because you have to let it dry. This is my thoughts on The Way of Kings, Dune, Giovanni's Room, and then The Way of Kings. I need to do a couple more pages and notes in here, but I really like keeping a reading journal because it enables you to better understand what you're reading, how you're reading it, and really how you feel. And it's also nice, neat, and fun time capsule. The journals that I generally like to use are the Leitrim, I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. Pardon my pronunciation. These are phenomenal journals. They're about $20 on Amazon. You can get them at Barnes & Noble, any place like that. These are just phenomenal journals. The pages feel great. Page quality is great. I really like doing the hardcover compared to the soft cover, mainly because there's more pages in the hardcover. Now, if we go and look back at some of my writings in here, let's see something that isn't necessarily spoiler heavy. Kind of talking about the Iliad, and there I wrote in Greek at the best of my ability about what the opening is. And with reading journals, you can take it as deep as you want or as personal as you want, and it's kind of fun reading and seeing how my thoughts or how I've changed and grown as a reader. It's a sobering sort of feeling. Now, you can have reading journals for, I mean, whatever it is that you want to read. If you want to have something specifically for fiction, if you want to have something for philosophy, for foreign languages, anything like that, I think having a journal or a reading journal is always important. Now, mine are just usually about what I'm reading at that time. I don't really separate it based on a subject or anything like that. There is a journal that I do have. I got this in England. This is my commonplace book, which, I mean, there's tons of videos on YouTube. I mean, like Parker's Ponces, he does some stuff, but this is some stuff that I've, lessons or what I read, some quotes and things. I really haven't written much into my commonplace book, mainly because half the time I forget that it's on my desk. I have a lot of books on my desk, and right now it's in that busy season of university where wrapping up the semester slowly and gradually, and going to finish my degree. But it's a good way to keep my thoughts in check. I also have a philosophy notebook for my own thoughts and research, individual research projects I do with philosophy, because that is something that we do in the philosophical enterprise. Now, as you can see, I mean, reading journal for me, it's such an important aspect. It really changed the way that I viewed reading. It makes reading feel more communal, and the purpose of reading, that a lot of us, I think, in the booktube community, and I certainly myself feel, is that reading is an eternal conversation, and that eternal conversation it started between you and the author, but it also continues with you, because the way that you feel about a book when you're 16 or 17 is probably not going to be the same way you feel about it when you're 30, 35. Certainly there's going to be some books that we love more than others. I mean, for crying out loud, in my Dostoevsky video I talked about how much I love The Brothers Karamazov. Crime and Punishment was phenomenal as well, and I was still split between these two because it was a difficult choice. But reading journals are so important for readers, and I highly encourage you to pick up one. You can either click on the link in the description if you would like to get a reading journal. If you don't want to get a Leekstrom, you can always get a Moleskin. You can get whatever you want. I have a Midori here, which has been helping keep track of my the books I've read so far in the year. So that's been really helpful. So I highly encourage you to pick up a reading journal, and it will definitely change the way that you view reading, the way that you understand the book, and honestly, it'll help you better convey your thoughts and help you better review the book as you go along. And ultimately, the biggest payoff, in my opinion, is that you get to see how you've grown as a reader. I recommend getting a reading journal. If you enjoyed a video like this, I recommend watching my Dostoevsky video. It will be linked right about there. Again, guys, I apologize for the delay in the video. Midterms was this week and last week, and got kind of caught up in that. So again, I apologize for that. Coming soon will be maybe an unboxing video and a review on both The Way of Kings and Warbreaker. Stay tuned for that. Those videos should be up sometime next week, because now I have a little more free time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys very, very soon. See ya.